Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a good Sunday. We're going to be going over another lovely little gem here. Marvel Studios executive producer Trin Tran on Marvel's Phase 4. This is the first step to more diverse characters and franchises. So basically, they're doubling down on forced diversity. Isn't that interesting, you know? So let's get into this. Marvel Studios executive producer Trin Tran recently commented about Marvel's Phase 4 and beyond plans, noting this is the first step to more diverse characters and franchises. She spoke to Inverse about the visibility of women superheroes of color. Female representation and diversity of it all is very important because this is the world we live in. There's so many different people out there, and in order for us to relate to them, we have to make movies that are different. We can always be, or we can't always be about one race or gender. Well, that's a good, yeah, that's kind of good that Marvel has never been about that. That's not the way we connect with the world. This is the first step to more diverse characters and franchises. I'm hoping for more down the line. We have so many characters in Marvel Universe. It's a matter of picking which ones make sense to the MCU. She adds, I'm thinking about the future of the MCU and how all those characters are going to connect. Diversity is crucial in our future. And then she states, I think we're heading towards the right direction. 10 years ago, when we started making these movies, you probably didn't see much of that. And literally, this is the second take I'm doing of this video. And I started saying, well, Iron Man cast was pretty diverse, if you think about it. And then I saw the next paragraph, so I'm going to just read it out. First Iron Man movie had a pretty diverse cast, including Gwyneth Paltrow, female, Terrence Howard, black, as James Rhodes, Ferran Tahir as Raza, the bad guy that kidnapped Tony Stark. Sean Tube as Yinsen, the guy that helped Tony Stark into the cave. Leslie Bibb as Christina Everhart, a woman. Syed Bedreya as Abu Bakar. I believe he was the other bad guy in the cave. Paul Bettany as Jarvis, self-explanatory. Jon Favreau as Happy, Clark Gregg, Angel Coulson, and Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, black guy. So yeah, it was all pretty diverse. But hey, that was because we didn't make a big deal about that. So, because nobody was screaming their heads off that, oh, I'm this race, or I'm that race, or this or that, it doesn't count. But in fact, that's the most important part of it. It's not forced. That way people are not being bullied into feeling uncomfortable because of their own skin tone. Or Marvel's attempts at making people uncomfortable. It's really sad. I started off with Iron Man. I wasn't a huge comic book reader, but I remember sitting in that room in post-production. It was the first time I watched Iron Man, and to this day, he's still one of my favorite characters. Robert Downey Jr. became Stark in front of my eyes. I knew that when I watched, it was something special, and I wanted to make these movies because I fell in love with that character. Just being a part of Tony's journey, and from the beginning to end, was remarkable because I felt like I was part of this journey. It's sad, but I'm happy it's allowing for more opportunities with new characters to be part of the MCU. She concluded by stating, we like to say that Phase 4 and the future, there's great characters and different franchises we look forward to. We like to say Phase 4 in the future, there's going to be great different franchises to look forward to. Okay, that was kind of a repeat, but anyway. We are ending the Infinity Saga with Endgame, and that's the end of the old, and we look forward to the new. Well, the end of the old was actually pretty good. This talk of diversity from the Marvel Comics universe is probably the most defining aspect of Marvel's Phase 4. Kevin Feige recently declared that a character in the upcoming Eternals film will be gay. You'd think that somebody of universal godhood would not care about sex, because why is sex important when you are worried about the good of the universe? Feige told Good Morning America he's married, he's got a family, and that's just part of who he is. Feige and Tran aren't the only Marvel Studios executives discussing diversity in Marvel Cinematic Universe. Victoria Alonso made it very clear what the studio's agenda was in Ask Me Anything on Reddit, where she stated, "We are actively working on making our universe as diverse and inclusive as we can. Be patient with us. We have a lot coming in the future." So you are planning to force diversity down people's throats instead of just subtly doing it like you did in Iron Man. As you can see, Marvel and the executives have made it pretty clear where they plan on taking the Marvel Cinematic Universe to Phase 4 and beyond. What do you all make of these comments? Are you interested in what Marvel has planned for Phase 4 and beyond? Or are you looking to get yourself the superhero fix somewhere else? I'm looking forward to getting it somewhere else because I like a story that is told without making it a big deal that a person is a woman or a person of color or any of that crap, because I like looking at stories that are good, that tell the story of the character, not the skin tone or their sexuality, unless for some odd reason that is important. I'm sorry, but LGBTQs have been in movies for over a century. And I mean that quite literally. Look up a movie from 1916. I forget the title, but it had lesbians in it. I mean, shoot, if you look back in entertainment itself, it goes back centuries. Greek plays had gay characters. Anyway, you guys don't realize this. You are forcing diversity. That is why people are not liking it. And you want to call them racist and whatnot. We're not racist. Let me tell you a story about my own personal experiences over this summer. My landlady, she's black. She absolutely will not call herself African American because she is not from Africa, firstly. She was born in the U.S. Oh, and this is going to piss some of you off. A minor political revelation here. She's a leftist. So, me and her, politically opposed. But we get along. She's my landlady. She hasn't kicked me out because I have different political views than her. But anyway, during the summer, her grandkids and her son and daughter came over. Her daughter's a Muslim. We got along fine. I didn't treat her like people say that conservatives treat Muslims. I treated her like a human being. I treated all of them like human beings. Because to me, they aren't black people. They're just people. Shocking that a conservative person with right leanings, oh wow, but I'm supposed to be a racist, right? I'm supposed to call them all sorts of derogatory terms, right? Because that's what racists do. I'm not racist, you idiot. Just because I have conservative viewpoints and just because because I lean right doesn't mean I'm an extremist. Anyway, back to the moral of the story. I was asked to take the kids out so that the adults could finish cleaning or prepping for the party for the festival we have at my hometown, Woodsman's, back in July. And I took them to the park. I took the kids to the park. They had fun. They played on the swing. We talked. We got to know each other. I got to make sure that they stayed out of trouble. Because I'm an adult, that's what adults do. They make sure kids stay out of trouble. And whatnot. After it was time for them to leave and go back home, my landlady's daughter calls her up and tells her the kids had a wonderfully positive experience with me because I helped them. I treated them like people. I didn't make it a case that they were, or I didn't make it a big deal that they were black. They didn't make a big deal that I was white. We just coexisted peacefully, and we didn't care about the color of a person's skin. We interacted harmoniously, and that was something that resonated with them. They didn't expect it, but they were glad it happened because it showed them that not everybody is like that, and not everybody is the way that other people have told them that they are. It should be this way everywhere. Stop looking at reasons to divide. Stop looking at things like Captain Marvel. I'm a woman. I don't need a man's help. How about this? You're a human. You're strong. Yes. You're female. Sure. But that shouldn't be the core focus of the story that you are telling. You don't have nothing to prove. Like she said in that stupid ass movie of hers. I don't have anything to prove to you. She did stupid things in the movie. But also, if it wasn't for her, or actually if it wasn't for her friends, the Skrull, or the good Skrulls or whatever, and Nick Fury, she wouldn't have been able to save the day completely. Believe it or not, she did need help. Just like every one of the characters and every one of the movies of the Infinity Saga, from Iron Man to Endgame, you had female characters who were integral in every movie that helped the main hero, that helped them become better. I've pointed it out in a previous video. And all the female support characters, they were integral with the character development of the main hero. If it wasn't for Pepper Potts, Tony Stark would have died in Iron Man 1. If it wasn't for Pepper Potts, he would have died in Iron Man 3. He would have died in Iron Man 2. If it wasn't for Pepper Potts, if it wasn't for Black Widow, if it wasn't for other people that were, yes, different gender and races and whatnot. Being different does not make you any less human. We are all human. We should embrace this fact. We should stop looking for reasons to be divided. We should stop dividing our culture based on religion, based on creed or whatever, or gender or race or whatever. The moment we stop doing this, I guarantee you there will be no reason for people to complain. But that is not going to happen. Because Hollywood, media, the mainstream media, and these idiots at Marvel here are continuously trying to push a narrative that these people need representation when they already have enough of it. When they have more than enough of it. Because we are all human. Once you realize this profound and obvious truth, there shouldn't be anything left to discuss. Anyway, that is the video. You guys know the drill. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Push that like button. I could use more likes to get my channel out there. I've actually been having a little bit more traffic on my comment section. I appreciate that because I like reading those comments. But I could also use a little bit more likes and maybe a little bit more views. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that this whole forced diversity is as important as they're making it sound? Or do you believe that diversity doesn't have to be pushed and forcefully expressed? Just put the person, or just put a cast member in there who happens to be a different race or gender or whatever, and just have them act. Don't make it a big deal that they're a woman or this or that. Stop trying to push false narratives. Because I guarantee you, when you push these false narratives, people are going to push back. Because they don't like seeing lies being shoved down their throats. Anyway, that's all there is. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Catch y'all on the next one.